Hey guys, welcome to episode 66 of 4PlayerAnimecast. It is the 22nd of April 2017, and we are knee deep into the spring 2017 season. We've all watched, a lot of the popular, not, well, I don't know about popular, but definitely more known shows this season, and we're gonna go run through a lot of them. So, for this episode, for the next couple of episodes, we're gonna be doing a lot of digging. So, anyways, how have you guys been doing? Here's Toast.
How do you know
Toast.
what I've been watching?
You told me Toast, and I didn't know what it was at first, so I had to check it out again. But
Who
so what
told
have you been
you?
watching? Who
Was it
told you these things? Yeah,
yeah, who told you? Was it dark?
maybe. So what have you been up to recently in terms of anime manga stuff?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good talk.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it?
I've
Yeah,
I,
what have you been watching? Yeah.
I've been watching Sin Nana Sai.
No, that's the Taizai. Yeah, Seven Mortals. You can just call it Seven Mortal Sins, although again,
That's different
yeah.
from the other Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, there's like the second season of that thing coming out, which is actually a shonen series. The one Toast is talking about is like a pure sort of lesbian like fantasy
Yeah, it's pretty good.
whatever series. It's along the lines of Valkyrie Mermaid Driver or whatever that show was from like 1 or 2 seasons ago, right? And like Bikini Warriors from the season
It's
before
got
that.
boobies. It's pretty good, but that's not what
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah.
Talking
What do
about
you?
this other show.
Oh,
It's hard to pronounce. I don't. It's Chinese. I don't
what
know how
is?
to pronounce it. So
Uh,
I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it in Chinese. I'm just gonna call it. It's called The King's Avatar.
yeah,
And it's pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's Chinese made. It's actually Chinese dubbed too. It's not like one of those hybrid things where it's like
What do you
the
call
Chinese
Chinese anime?
uh,
Chinese anime.
China
Chinese cartoons.
China May. But
China made in China. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's based off a light novel, which got turned into like a Chinese manga,
Oh,
which is now turned into an anime by
yeah, by
Tencent.
Tencent, the people behind,
Your boy.
yeah, my boys, the people that are currently controlling League of Legends and other
And D
popular games in
and they
China.
publish DFO in China, so
Yep,
they're a
yep,
pretty big deal
they're a
in
very
China
big
land.
deal in terms of publishing. I don't know if they published the Counter Strike ripoff Crossfire in China. That's like super popular, but
Oh,
that's another.
Probably do.
Yeah, but that's another thought. Okay, so that's really nice, and obviously you're waiting up for Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains or whatever in May. Okay, so that's
yeah.
good.
It's
Yeah.
I've been told like from the Chinese light novel enthusiasts, which apparently I'm now part of for some reason, that it's one of the better.
Because you read them all the time. Oh no, what do you mean for some reason? Fucking read a Chinese like recreation of Naruto the other time.
Apparently that's
Seems
great.
good.
I don't like it anymore. It used to be so good, but then it got really bad towards like the 500, 400-ish chapters.
Dude, that's just like
Oh,
Towards
it's like
500?
real.
Was everything before that filler though? Is my real question.
No, all this current stuff is now filler and pretty boring. Yeah,
Well,
apparently
it's just like Naruto.
Tales of Demon
That's
and God
just
is
like
one of the better rated ones. That's okay, and I'm like okay, and this one, the King's Avatar is comparable to something like Legendary Moonlight Sculptor. Is probably
Oh,
like the best.
yeah, I
Tales
know what you're talking about.
I can give it to. It's about this guy. I don't remember his name. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. But let's call him this guy, who's this legendary player in this. I believe it's an MMO called Glory, and it's been going on for 10
yeah,
years.
glory, and it's like it has the most people, blah blah blah. I bet,
It's
and
it's
then later
basically
on,
it's
yeah,
basically DFO.
yeah, and
They
then it's
don't.
essentially the trials and tribulations. We can cover that more later, I think, when we get into your section though. But it's essentially the trials and tribulations of a top esports player in China as he goes through, drama, personal stuff, professional stuff, uh, and climbing up in the game, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Well,
East-
this is
East-
clearly
Hashtag esports.
Asian esports is a it's pretty interesting when you compare it to like American esports because it's
To white people sports, yes.
Yeah, it's more of a- it's
to
more
white
of a-
people sports. Yeah.
it's more of an actual business than it is like over here.
It is
in the
definitely
West.
bigger. It is definitely bigger, and there are a lot more companies that are invested in it. Yes. But again, we'll cover that in a bit when we get to your section. As
Esports
for
number 2.
yeah, esports. So moving on, Nier. How about you? You've been doing actually. You've been into one or two series recently. Maybe one I don't want to cover so much, but
Huh? I don't watch anime. That's for losers, dude.
Yeah,
that's
Nier.
true. Sorry,
I just play Persona 5. Sorry.
Nier. Who's your favorite in Persona 5?
Oh my god, that's a bad
Uh,
question. Do not ask this explosive question. This is.
who's your favorite in Persona 5's dub?
Oh,
My favorite Persona 5 girl. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably Hifumi Toko, the shogi player. I like her a lot. She's really cute. She whenever she plays shogi, she goes into like Chuny mode and she starts talking about like dragons and kings and queens and stuff. And she slams her pieces down. It's really cute. But in terms
Why are you stealing my girl, Nier?
of fuck you, dude.
What about the hacker? Why don't you?
What about the
Uh,
teacher?
Stinky, hickey, and neat. No thanks. Teacher's pretty good, but she dresses up in the maid costume too much, and it's not my tempo.
You like her disheveled hair more?
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I like her. I like her being a normal person.
This girl, the girl you like, is actually the one that's voiced by Tomomi Isomura or Isomura Tomomi.
Yeah.
The person who voices Makoto in Blaze Blue.
Yeah, she's nice.
Why is
Other than, are you okay?
Wait, Toast? Wait, Toast is that-
why wasn't she a Persona user? It feels like she would have been one.
She was apparently supposed to be, but the developers were like, "Yo, this story is too long. Make her a side character."
Wow, dude, that's unfair.
Too much. Yeah.
Maybe in Persona 5 FES.
Maybe. But outside of Persona, which has pretty much been my entire life the past couple of weeks,
Who's your
I
favorite Nier
watched.
character?
What?
Yeah,
There's like three of them.
Yeah. Okay. We keep going.
You gotta pick one.
6-0.
Out of those 3.
Yeah, it's probably 6-0, I'm not gonna lie. But outside of Persona 5, I have been watching I'm not even do I try to pronounce this?
The King's Avatar.
Not King's
Shumatsu nani shitemasu ka iso gashi desu ka sukute morate ie desu ka, also known as Sukasuka.
More like suck.
Or
suck,
in
suck,
like
suck.
English, it's like, what are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Can you save us or something?
Yeah,
like that.
will you save us? Something like
Yeah,
that.
will you save us?
Suck.
But yeah, also known as Sukasuka. I'm watching this because it's apparently it gets edgy.
Oh, ow, the
End
edge.
of the world isn't edgy enough for you.
Yeah, I need something to be edgy.
To be fair, okay, wait. Oh, well, we'll go into this more again when we come across when we start discussing it. But honestly, I don't think it's like I am like, as you guys know on the podcast, I'm pretty critical of like the edge, like fake edge or whatever. But I honestly don't think it's like so edgy as it is just like, okay, everybody's just like fucked initially. like there's sort of a difference, I think, where it's like they're not like reveling in like, wow, death, like destruction, fuck you. Like that's not what they're doing, Which I kind of
Are you saying you're the Edge Master?
Yes. I play Shadow the Hedgehog like on my days off. That's what
Dark
I do, actually.
Edge Flame Master.
Yes. But yeah, go on. With that.
So I went into the show pretty blind,
Yeah.
except for the fact that I heard it's edgy. I was not aware going into the show that this was a lolly punishment show, but
Whoa
apparently.
there.
So this show is about a just a regular guy. No, the show is like set in a world where apparently humans are extinct, except for like one, which is the protagonist. And
Is this Kimono Friends?
yes,
That's actually why you watched it. Yes.
Yes, Kimono Friends with lollies.
Yeah.
And he gets tasked with watching over a quote unquote warehouse of special weapons.
I thought you would have said warehouse of lollies, but that's the thing.
Yes,
Too.
it turns out this warehouse of special weapons is a daycare full of lollies,
Yeah.
and he soon
Also great
finds
weapon.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he soon finds out that the lollies are the weapons.
Uh-huh.
What a twist!
Whoa.
And soon after that, he learns that none of these kids actually care about their own lives, and
Yeah.
death is meaningless to them. Because
Just like
apparently,
real life.
yeah, it's just so me. Apparently, the way magic works in this world is the more of it you like focus into yourself or something, the shorter your life is.
It's essentially
And so-
dangerous to use
Yeah,
magic.
and so having a being that has absolutely no care in the world about death is like the ultimate weapon or something. Because they can just
Wow.
focus
That's so
crazy.
me.
They can just
Yeah,
focus crazy amounts of magic into themselves and blow themselves up.
Right.
And the I guess the conflict or whatever that's been introduced is that the main girl, who I don't like, has been given a deadline on her life, where she's been tasked with blowing herself up for the upcoming big bad enemy.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah, and then the rest of the story is essentially just like a balance between like the action slash the world building, which becomes a crucial part of the plot, and then the whole like interactions between the dude who's not dead but he should be, and then the rest of the orphans. And again, we'll probably delve a little bit more into that when we get to your section. Right.
yeah.
But yeah, this is a light novel original. If I think it was a web novel initially. I'm not sure, but it definitely is like a light novel thing published right now. But yeah, it's pretty decent for what it's worth. I think I've also been reading it too, and I can definitely talk with you about it when we come up.
Other than that, I've been watching Boruto.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Pretty good.
But yeah. Okay, so that's Nier's portion for now, and Dark.
You know,
Okay.
I've been keeping.
Got him.
I've been keeping up with pretty much everything that I mentioned last week. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else new. I've been watching Boruto as well. Haven't really checked out anything else new except for what did we shorten the bastard magic professor teacher
You can
guy
say
to? I don't
best.
know.
You can say like best magic instructor or Akashic records or whatever. Doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean I checked that out and watched it, and I think it's all right. Kept up with Boruto. That show's good. Almost watched
What's so good about Boruto? It's Naruto with the B.
No, it's not.
It's totally different. The Age of Shinobi is
It's
over.
It's
Not
over.
yet. No, not yet. It's not.
It's not
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
be
I'm so
over
sorry.
for like another
Forward.
2-3 years, man.
But that was the first line of the anime.
See, like when it gets to that part, I'm gonna be pretty upset because, like, not to
I'm
get
sure-
too into it, but
I'm
like,
sure once it gets to there, it's gonna be really shitty. But right now, I'm enjoying it.
yeah, like when they're kids,
When the
'cause
crash happens.
I like the idea of them being like the children of these people that actually fought gods, and like the world slowly moving away from ninja. But since their parents were like these super strong ninjas, they want them to be ninjas too, and they don't necessarily want to be or follow the same like path as them.
But
So I think it's pretty
Do you
cool.
like Boruto as a character? That's my
I
big
don't
question.
give. I mean, I don't really give a fuck about Boruto's character. He's really like.
Who's,
I mean,
who's your favorite?
whatever.
And why is it Salad?
Metal Lee.
I mean, yeah, Salad really hasn't had a part.
Salad has had
Am
like
I-
3
yeah, I
lines.
mean,
It's
yeah.
fucking infuriating.
She's been on the sideline just talking mad shit.
Fucking
mean-
fat Hambeast has had more lines than
She's gonna
Salad.
but she's gonna become Hokage.
The thing is, like, I mean, obviously, I haven't really gone into Boruto beyond like the initial, what is it, like 5, 7 chapters that they released initially or whatever. But from what I can tell, right, the point is like, or rather, the issue is that like, how do I say this? The issue is that like Boruto, like they first of all they need to defeat this greater enemy, right? And to defeat this greater enemy, they need to have a greater enemy. But however, like all these other greater enemies have already been defeated in the initial season, like right?
Don't worry
So
about it.
so they need to do like 10 times more world building to create an even greater enemy. So they need to spend time creating this
Worry
greater
about
enemy.
it, man.
While all like Boruto and Salad and everybody else is kind of left behind in the dust. They're like, can this enemy be made already, or are we still having like flashbacks or whatever?
All you need to worry about is that Salad is the cutest. And that's the purpose of Boruto.
She's gonna become
Got him.
Hokage.
Thanks, Twice. I'll definitely watch it tomorrow.
Well, you know.
As you
listen,
do.
I mean, how would you compare
it's alright.
Boruto to early Naruto?
It's
Or
similar, but with like different
Yeah, but
characters.
I'd say it's similar, but I mean I liked early Naruto more. Maybe that's rose tinted glasses, but
Well, but why do you think
I feel like-
Boruto is not a very likable character in the first place? Is it because he's doesn't
I
have
mean
the same drive?
he's I feel like he has just as much, determination. But I think
But he doesn't want to become.
I think
a
the
ninja.
fact that he's pretty much just Naruto, except he's kind of a cheating scumbag and he has daddy issues, makes him slightly less likable.
So he's basically become Sasuke.
No, he's not an edgy little piece of shit, but
But the age of ninjas is over.
Not yet.
not yet,
You're
okay?
getting too ahead of yourself.
He's still Genki, alright?
It's Deja Vu.
But yeah, so far he's just Naruto with a little bit more of a downer, I guess.
Oh,
Because he's got daddy issues. He's always
You notice he
he's
has.
He's
always-
a shadow of his dad. Yeah, whatever.
You notice
yeah,
he has
he's
leaf-shaped
always
hair?
he's always going about like
My
I'm
daddy won't play with me.
not following or I'm not riding my dad's coattails or whatever the fuck.
Oh
the
yeah,
line is.
I think the author really wanted to hammer that theme, and like at the beginning, that was probably one of like the primary themes.
I mean
But then he realized,
that's been like the last 3 episodes. So
yeah. But what I'm wondering is like, was he like, okay, well, this needs to be the theme, but then like midway through, like after all of these episodes, was he just like, oh well, I actually need to write like a Naruto story now? It's like
who knows?
It began as a
Who-
movie first off, a movie and a bunch of like light side stories.
Yeah, who knows what the Naruto author is going through? What's going on in his head? But the initial bits of it is kind of just like early Naruto. But yeah, I mean it's it's like early Naruto, but instead of just being ninjas growing up, it's ninjas growing up with
Video
super
games.
famous parents.
They have
And
video games.
video games.
got him.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so-
fun. It's fun.
Okay, so at least it's like a jolly romp through the end of the Age of Ninjas. So at least I'll
Yeah.
give it that, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get to the end of the age of the shinobi.
Yeah. Okay. Well, off that subject, I guess we'll just start into the main discussions real quickly. And what I watched actually was one of the series that was sort of purported to be, I guess, one of the more unique series of the season. The more like pronounced, oh, this is going to be like the cool series, like the the thing that makes people think, that sort of shit, right? Like that sort of stuff pops up every season, and it can be more or less it can be hit or miss, right? All the time. This one, Kado, the right answer. I forget what the studio is by. I don't think it's that important, honestly, because it's actually better that I don't say who the studio is because I'll probably shit on them too. But the point is, Kado, the right answer. Very short summary.
Is this the CG one?
Yes, it's the one where like the 3D comes in with random parts, and you're just like, oh my god, please.
Toei Animation.
It's Toei. Yes.
Is this worse than Bubuki Baraki? Because Bubuki's CG was pretty okay, but
this was like.
This looks like the same.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's not like terrible. It's not like Berserk levels, right? Or like Akanohana kind of bullshit going on.
I would
But
fucking
there are some
hope
jarring
that.
parts. Yeah, there are some jarring parts. But other than that, it's like not too bad. But the point is, beyond that, really quickly, the story is there's a skilled negotiator in the government called Kojiro Shindo, and then he gets caught in these circumstances where like an alien fucking drops his shit on Japan, and the alien is just like, okay, I've come to advance humanity through alien technology.
Oh, nice.
And then the Kojiro is like sort of forced to, I guess, be a negotiator and sort of be a quote unquote a representative for the alien at the same time. And then the government has its own sort of negotiator people that they send, including this one girl named Saraka Tsukai. Oh, the alien's name is called Yahakaiza Shina or whatever. It's irrelevant. You can just call him alien. The point is,
Now.
the point is, there's this alien. He wants to advance humanity, and then the rest of it is just like Japanese like negotiation skills or some bullshit like that. But it's really bad. It's bad.
Is it like dialogue focused or something?
Yeah, it's pretty much all like dialogue. Like I'm talking like, oh well, like how did we get here? Like what's going on, stuff like that. And
why would you use CG?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about it. Like for me, I've been watching
because it's like they have to
Babuki
show
and it
all
seems
the alien
cool,
technology floating around and making themselves into cubes and fractals and stuff.
Oh,
Wow,
I mean,
sounds exciting.
they could do
Can't draw
CG
that.
they could do CG for like the effects, I guess, but I don't know
Yeah.
why you need to have CG characters for a dialogue focused show.
Yeah, I don't know either. Kado, I'm just gonna preface this, is one of the most is exactly the type of series I really really hate, where it's like it pretends to be this like super important whatever, like we're gonna shock you with how like deep and unique we are, and then it just does like stupid shit. So at the very beginning, the character, first of all, the theme of like negotiating, right, like being able to communicate effectively, communicate towards something, whatever. This theme is completely fucking dumb, like, or it's completely ruined by the story. The dude Kojiro Shindo, the main character, is always hailed as like a tough negotiator. They actually say it in English a lot of the time. Like the people are like, "Oh, this tough to negotiate," or like however the fuck they say it in like Romaji or whatever, right? Like
Tough negotiator.
yeah, exactly. They say it like that. I'm just like, whatever. Okay. Which always, first of all, that breaks again the first rule of storytelling, right? Show not tell, right? And second of all, I'm just like, okay, so they want to make this the central theme. Let's see how they negotiate. And there's this sort of initial scene of talking and negotiating bargaining with the alien, where the alien is just like, all right, bring somebody up from the Japanese government. You have 6 seconds to do that. And Kojiro next to the alien is just like, no, we don't have time. And just like looks at the alien. And the alien is just like 30 seconds.
Wow,
And then,
tough.
like, silence passes. The Kojiro is just like looking at the alien. It's like, and the alien's just like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. They cut back to the both of them, and then the alien just like turns his head. It's like 3 hours, no more. And then Kojiro's just like, all right. I'm like, what? What part of that?
I'm pretty sure you just don't know how to negotiate, Spire.
Yeah, apologize. I just have to stare at them, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, you're never gonna get the good deals at the flea markets if you don't know how to do that.
It's like instead of the good cop bad cop thing, it's just bad cop, really bad cop. Like
Bad is in bad at his job.
yeah. And then like they just get down and they start like talking about stuff, and it's all none of that's actual negotiation. But so the negotiation theme's already ruined, and then the whole like alien technology thing where it's like what I'm thinking that they're going to do is they're going to plan some kind of like transhumanism theme. Like, is it right for people to just grab onto whatever technology that they don't know and just use it, like abuse it, right? Like, given the power of like of being able to just use whatever we want to like use whatever powerful technology that we want, is it wise? That's probably going to be the theme or whatever.
Lame.
I mean, with their limited minds, that's probably what they're going to imagine, right? And there's this section where the alien gives them this like infinite energy cube, like perpetual motion infinite energy
the
cube.
Tesseract.
Yeah, the all spark like cube thing, right? So the like this is one of the worst parts. The alien starts talking about this thing, and it's like, I came from another universe that is called anisotropic whatever, and the reason why I'm in front of you is I'm processing myself through the universe using this cube or whatever. I'm just like, none of this matters. Nothing that you're talking about world building or whatever matters. And uh,
It shows how advanced he is.
and the none of this like world building matters, and it's just because it's like they're not going to use like the specifics of what they've said right in the story to advance whatever humanity wants to do. They're not going to use it in some sort of moral conflict. They're just spouting like random science terminology that they're doing. They're not going to use any of those terminology to do this like specific like, oh, well, there are limitations to this, right? Because it's already bullshit. There are aliens from another world that landed a cube on Tokyo, right? Like, and and it's pretty obvious that it's like that it's not important to the story. I know it's not important to the story, and they probably know I know it's not important to the story. So then it
But how
becomes
do
this
you know,
question.
Spire? They're like super alien smart peoples.
Yeah, maybe they just want to expose the story, right?
Man,
And it's extremely frustrating because it's like that sort of exposition takes up about like at least 5 to 8 minutes of the episode, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, so you don't have much of a plot going on. You decided to world build at a time where it's not very convenient, and the world building has no real importance to the plot. And I'm okay with world building that has no importance to the plot in itself. Like, there are plenty of science fiction stories that have like side books, spin-offs, whatever, that build the world, right? But like, you can't just randomly decide to build a world and then be like, oh well, all of that was just useless shit. And it's like, okay, thanks for doing it in the middle of like a world crisis, right? Like,
Appreciate it.
yeah, got him. And it's like Kata, the right answer, ended up being this amalgamation of like super incoherent, like not doing what it wanted it to do, or like what it was, advertising, which was the whole like negotiation or like humanity technology bullshit. And all of its like character stuff is like super weird. Again, the whole like, you know, the Kojiro dude like looks at the alien, he's like, no, that's not enough. We need more time. I'm just like, that's not negotiating skills at all. You're just telling him we need more time. What part of that is
It's
negotiation?
like he takes out like a bottle with some water in it and spritzes him in the face and just says no. Maybe
No.
smacks him on the nose with a newspaper.
Yeah, like
Tells him
it's
bad
like one of those.
alien.
Yeah, it's like one of those like Asian cop like scenes where it's like they put the light on him and then they bring him like a bowl of ramen or something like that.
It's not
It's like,
ramen.
or udon or
Brings him
whatever.
some donuts.
It's not. Wow, you really don't know what it is. Oh, you
I mean, it's like usually it's some sort of like soup kind of thing usually, or a soup or stew kind of thing. But anyways, it was really disappointing overall, and What I'm
It's-
afraid of
it's-
is like a lot of what?
It's a Donbury Spire. That's not soup.
Some sort of dish that makes them nostalgic. I'm sure they'll bring the alien whatever dish that's nostalgic to Alien Town, right?
What if he
what-
can't eat human food?
Yeah. What if he brought?
What if that will kill him?
There's actually a really funny thing where it's like, I think they did this because they were just like, they were running out of money or something like that to do shit with. But you know how I said earlier on when the alien talks about, oh, I'm only here in this universe because I'm like processing myself somehow, like through the cube or whatever it is. And so
Through Skype.
Yeah.
He's video calling through Skype.
Yeah, exactly. He's a holograph, like Tupac.
Yeah.
Like, kind of shit. But what happens is like he uses his arm to like point to things, right? But he like takes off his arm, like he like
Like a rocket punch?
yeah. He like makes his arm, like section of his arm is like cut off and it like floats in, or like it appears, like it like points to stuff like away, like destroyed from his body. But it's not like the type of thing where it's like you see the animation of the arm disappearing and then the arm just like appears like bit by bit from elbow up in like another place, right? Like you see the forearm and it's not like that. It's like
It
it's
just
like
like
when
falls off.
No. What happens is like you see him like hide his like arm inside his clothes, and then suddenly like a miniature figure of the arm like appears at a point in space and slowly expands to like point to something. Like you have to see the animation to believe it. It's like really.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether that's alien technology or whether just Toei just ran out of money someplace. like I don't know what's going on. Why is the art doing that? But
Maybe it's
that
CGI. Alien CGI.
alien CGI, yes. But that aside, it was a very, very disappointing ride. I did watch up to 3 episodes, including like episode 0, 1, 2, 3, at the time of this recording. But
Was episode 0 40 to 50 minutes long?
I don't know. It was some stupid like prologue thing that showed how tough he was as a negotiator, but it didn't really. It just showed him like, oh, the government wanted me to do this because there was this dude that's doing it, and then he suggested something else, and then they were all just like, wow, you suggested something else? This just revitalized the industry. It's like, oh, okay.
What a tough guy.
So you're saying it's not like Roger Smith negotiator meets like Holo from Apple and Wolf, Spice and Wolf.
Yeah. It's more like
Apple and Wolf.
it's
My
more
favorite
like
anime.
it's more like if MacGyver, instead of using like paper clips, it just like to like do shit, just said random shit like out of his ass. It's like,
MacGyver,
he
except
just
he had
stared
a
at
tiny
people.
arm that came
yeah,
out.
yeah. He's like completely MacGyvering these like conversations, just like, oh well, if you do this, it'll revitalize the industry. We're like, no, like we can't do that. Like what are you even doing, my friend?
You think this show's gonna revitalize?
You're a
the
louse,
anime
Roger
industry?
Smith.
Yeah. But it's really frustrating because like I know these types of series are the one that get on like Tumblr. I know these are the ones that get on like Crunchyroll reviews, my anime list bullshit, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, it was so unique! Like it made me think." And it's so frustrating to see that kind of bullshit.
Really makes you think.
Really activates my elements, you know.
Yeah, fucking kill me. But that's my review for Kano. Don't watch it. It just gave me an ulcer just like thinking about how like the people like fucking Toei and the others just like sat back and tried to make this pretentious piece of shit. But that's all I have.
So no cool socioeconomic
Implications.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it did, Toast. I really wish it did.
What if it does in a later episode, Spire? You don't know yet.
That's true. I have to watch
See,
the
he
entire
did
thing
say
to know
not
whether it's good or
yet.
not.
He
Yeah.
didn't say no.
I have to watch all 12 episodes to know whether it'll be good or not. You're right,
There
Toast.
you go.
I apologize. Oh jeez. Speaking of uncertain plots, how about your series, Toast? The King's Avatar?
What do you mean uncertain? The novel ended 2 years ago.
I mean, we don't know in the the anime, right? Like
Wait, what?
It's got-
What do you mean? Don't you mean you're gonna bring that up about Dark, or they don't know anything?
wait for what?
What with what Dark Watch? Aren't you talking about that?
No. Dark Watch Akashic Records. I guess that series hasn't ended yet. I guess, but I mean, It's the anime is like a different thing, but anyways, Tuds, go on with King's Avatar.
It's pretty cool.
Again, Chinese series
Okay, moving
about
on.
Chinese
Alright,
series
sir.
about
It's about
top
this dude.
pro gamer
This dude.
and like a DFO knockoff, I think.
It's about this
I
guy who
guess.
knows this guy.
It's about this dude who's 25 now, and he's
Prime
he's
retirement
not doing
age for
so
pro
well
gamer.
in the Korean esports
Chinese
scene.
esports.
Not because he's not good or anything. It's because he's stuck in the old ways of esports, where a lot of it is commercialized nowadays. So putting yourself out there.
Wasn't he? No, wasn't he like? I mean, like that's one thing. Like he was stuck in the old ways or whatever. But it's like wasn't the main reason and probably the crux of the plot isn't wasn't he kicked out by like like a scummy team or something like that? Isn't that how it works?
He's,
Like the organization is like scummy,
it's not.
and
Yeah,
that's why.
it's not because he's no good or anything. It's because like I've been saying, esports is more monetized lately. Where it's more of a brand and a sport than just playing the game and being good at it and getting money. You have to sell yourself as like you have to sell your identity,
Right.
do advertisements, show and all that. And he never did any of those. He just wanted to play the game, and
I love the game.
Wow, what a casual piece of shit.
the company Excellence Air didn't like that because they wanted him to
To
say,
actually make them money
yeah.
so that they could pay people.
Yeah. So they're like, since our team hasn't been doing so good, we're going to we're going to relegate you to being a training partner for this up and coming dude.
Yeah.
But then he's like, I don't like that. I'm gonna quit.
Yeah.
And then the manager's like, you can't do that. You're under contract, and if
You can't quit. You're fired.
Yeah. If you break the contract, yes.
you're still under contract, and if you terminate the contract early, like before your contract period is up, you have to pay the fine. He's like, and everyone knows that he can't pay that fine, so he's forced to sign this contract that says, I'm retiring from the scene, and in doing so, he can't. That's preventing him from joining any other team for an entire year during this period, like a grace period.
So, is he a training partner or not?
No.
No, he quit the team because the organization was being scummy and wanted him to make more money off him, and he wouldn't do that. And he's like the old generation of players, and they bring up all this thing about like how he's from like the poverty generation when they were living off like ramen or whatever stuff like that. And then he was being super nice, he was giving money to everybody else who was also poor, so on and so forth. And then now it's the modern era. Stuff has changed completely over or whatever. It's a little bit of like fucking like logistics bullshit, or it's a little bit of plot bullshit. But essentially how it goes is like players usually have like yearly contracts, right? I mean, this also happens in real life, but players have like usually these like yearly contracts, right? And so they're like, if you since you broke the contract by just quitting instead of listening to what we're telling you, we're going to have to renegotiate. Either you're going to pay the fee for breaking the breach of contract, or breaching the contract, or you're going to have to sign this new contract, or we're going to have to renegotiate a new contract or whatever. Essentially, is how it works.
I guess. Seems like
Obviously, the stupid part is like the contract doesn't allow like nobody would sign a contract where it's like, oh well, we can do literally whatever we want with you. Although there are some competitive gamers that have been stupid enough to sign very, very one-sided contracts, but that's another story. But anyways, after that, he quits, and then he gets all his stuff in the game stolen from him, and the rest of the story is about him coming up.
His account is like he's the top one autumn leaf or something. That's like the top.
This is fucking Maple Story.
Number one PV, like number one
Tiger.
account in the servers. But once he signed up with was with this company. He no longer had control of his own account.
Right.
Wait, so this is an MMO that he's playing?
It's
Yeah,
basically
it's like
DFO.
DFO.
Okay, well this is clearly a fucking fantasy land because no one gives a shit about MMOs and esports. So
Yeah, I mean the point is
No,
it's
that's not
about
true. Not in DFO. DFO's still
well
going strong with its PvP.
well
stuff.
the point is it's like the whole PvP MMO setting wasn't made to be like super accurate so much as it was it's like to set up the whole like fantasy simulation like virtual world fantasy simulation part of the anime slash story. But that point aside, again, just quickly ending the wrapping up the summary. It's after that, it's a battle for him, or he's essentially starting again from the bottom, and then he goes
A
along.
new
He's
10th
probably gonna,
server just opened in commemoration of the 10th year that this game is out. So
yeah. So he's climbing up from the bottom again, probably making new friends, enemies, blah blah, blah and proving his worth.
yeah,
So, what are your thoughts on it? Like, to just general, its relation to, I guess, esports, whatever. Is it's worth as a general sort of story.
pretty cool. Not
Okay.
bad for a Chinese anime so far.
not, not
I
bad
mean,
for
it looks
Chinese.
good. It's got good fluid animation. I do have some problems with the CGI at certain points
Yeah,
because I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty weird.
there's some things I want to point out about the amount of frames it gets sometimes in some battle scenes, but it doesn't have too many like
It's
battle
not the
scenes.
battle scene that's the problem. That's not CGI. It's when they're
Well, no. I
when
was
they're
talking
like
about
in the internet cafe and showing off like the crowd and whatnot.
Crowds are always going to be CGI, dude.
They looked really weird. Like some of them looked American made. Like they looked like white people. They didn't look like
American made? How
Chinese
can you tell?
people.
Wait, what?
Didn't you notice they
I
look
don't.
they look
I'm
like
not sure what you're insinuating here.
they didn't look Chinese, man. Like
Wait,
they
okay,
didn't have black they
They're-
didn't have black hair and they didn't look Asian.
They look like white people, so you
really
think they were
generic, like
American
really
made?
generic.
Like the Astros?
Like brown hair, yellow hair, and I'm like,
Oh well,
looked
that's
very
no, but
suspicious.
the main character has brown hair, or
It's-
no,
No,
I
he's
guess
got
he has
black
black
hair.
hair. No, he has black hair. I apologize. But
It's
like,
an anime, dude.
I mean, there are other people that have blonde hair. Like the main character's like rival that replaces him has blonde hair, right? So they could probably just be like, oh, it's
That's
dye or something like
dyed.
that. Yeah, I mean, there are
I
plenty of
mean,
people who dye it brown. It's not.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
uncommon.
I'm like,
It's not uncommon in like Asia.
You realize for CGI crowds, they have like 3 different models, right? And then
Yeah.
sparse
I mean, they're not
they
gonna draw
probably
like
just use
blue
the
hair.
bare minimum
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Like
But-
stock stuff.
Yeah. But anyways, after Toast, as for me, after Toast kind of posted and shit like that, I did watch 2 episodes. Apparently, only 2 episodes are TL'd for now out of the 4 Raws that are out. But I did watch both of them. I am familiar a little bit with. I mean, I'm more or less
Esports.
familiar. Well, I guess with more of the competitive side in real life, especially with how China is doing so on and so forth. It is like the whole like organization and like what they say, what they like some of the trivia, like how the older generation, they were so poverty and stuff like that, they had to kind of stick up for each other. They literally just didn't have any money and they were kind of stuck, relying on any sponsors or any teams that they could get, stuff like that, which is also sort of much true today. Some of that hit right on the mark and it was very good. And but a lot of it, obviously this is a very much a dramatization, right, of what's going on in esports. Very glamorous, like, oh, this is top thing, blah blah blah, and there are like fans and stuff like that, and there are ardent fans, especially in like the Chinese, Korean esports industry, so on. But it's very how do I say this without making it sound so insulting? I don't think there's a way, but it's much more glamorous and like professionalized in the anime than it is in actual real life. In actual real life, like if you look at the scandals and stuff like that, and like the similar sort of scummy things like breach of contract, like forcing people to do stuff, taking pay, whatever, dependence upon sponsors or teams. A lot of the organizations are like kids, especially over in China. I don't mean to be like racist, but like the people over, like the brands over in China LGD, IG, stuff like that. Like people like that. Like those guys, like and their managers slash like the people who fund them, like the rich sons or whatever, rich sons of CEOs. They're they're not very smart. They kind of just do their stuff, and so it's actually pretty funny.
Are you saying
What?
Chinese people are stupid?
Excuse me. But it's kind of funny to see people acting in the anime about like esports or like whatever, acting smarter than the people in real life. So that kind of gave me a good laugh. But the other thing is, I kind of want them to focus a little bit more on the competitive gaming, on the whole like esports, real life, you know, gaming transitioning into real life, the whole thing, because that's super interesting, and that hasn't been covered in detail, as much detail, right? Like accurate detail, not like, oh, well, I'm a gamer and I do stuff. Like that's really not it. I kind of want to see more of that instead of what they seem to be going towards, which is a little bit more focused on the MMO, like being in the fantasy world and doing stuff side of it, which is like really depressing because.
Hey man, I like that stuff.
I mean, it's like I'm not saying like that.
I want to see what he does with his myriad manifestation umbrella, because he's.
I mean, I'm sure you do, but the point is this.
I mean, don't you want to see how he turns his self-made weapon into a weapon that could rival like the highest tier weapon, something like that? I think that's part of it.
Why would that be in an esport? Doesn't make any sense. Fuck this
he's
show.
Building his way up, man.
It's so
You
so
have to grind
dumb.
and level
That's
up
not how esports work.
Maybe not
What
to
the
you.
He's got to get to level 60 first, man. He's
What kind of fucking psycho esport like setup is like?
I mean,
you got to use your own custom character for this. Like
do you not know what this is basically what DFO is, man?
Yeah,
There's a PVE. There's a PVE stuff, and then there's PvP, which is going to be the esports stuff.
Yes, the PvP. Yes,
doesn't
but like
DFO
what of
PvP just have like? I mean, doesn't DFO in general have like just a set amount of builds though?
Pretty much.
Like you basically just have a character that with like its specific moveset. Like there's not really that much variance in gear in PvP, is there?
No, currently in PvP, gear is all normalized to make it more fair. So,
well,
yeah.
What I'm saying is, even without that, what kind of psycho organization is like, we're gonna have an esports event for this game, and everyone's gonna be logging into their own accounts and using their own characters with their own gear.
Again, look up DFO PvP. This is exactly how this is.
There's a difference between DFO PvP though and a structured esports event, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
You mean
like for an MMO? How do you have people logging into like regular servers on their regular characters in an esports event?
No, they're
like that's insane.
I think they replicate their account, or well, there's the character and stuff into.
That's so.
Because
so
you know
weird.
you have the Korean players, you have the Chinese players and whatnot. You can't exactly have them all on like fighting each other from Korea or China. I think it's
I don't know, man.
I didn't look this up, but
fucking
it might be a private server kind of thing. But it really is their own accounts when they're playing this game, because
they had to jump through a couple of like plot holes in order to kind of
I know it's plot stuff. It's still it's weird.
It has 130 million players worldwide, and the way they their character is saved on this ID thing, you know, like the initial D card reader or whatever. So that's how he handed over his account to the newbie guy who's going to replace him. It's on this card.
So it's like arcade cards or something?
Yeah, it looks like that. It's a card reader.
Yeah.
Alright,
well, I mean, yeah, that aside.
Maybe it's easier because they're all in China. So here, have my account card.
I mean, the initial plot holes with the story aside, I honestly, you know, the reason why I don't like the whole like fantasy whatever doing the MMO stuff isn't because of the MMO aspect itself. Like I've said it before. I like the whole like RPG whatever aspect. I think it's pretty cool. However, there is about enough of those. I went into another world, or I went into another
But
fantasy
this
world,
isn't
or I got
another
a
world,
virtual real.
Spire. This isn't virtual
Virtual real.
reality. He's
Can
playing
I?
on a keyboard and mouse.
Can
Therefore,
I?
it's
That is
just
true.
like me.
You're right. And I can see all this like UI like stats and stuff like that, and I
He
have
has
to.
over 200 APM, Spire. You can't replicate that with VR technology.
That's true. Actually, 200 APM is pretty low in in
Well,
some games, but
he has at least 200 APM.
at least 200. I apologize at all times, but the point is, it's like there is like a mountain and a half worth of series that are sort of like this, where it's like it's exploring the MMO aspects, exploring the RPG sort of, with I can see the stats and I can modify them, or I can train it efficiently because I can see the stats, stuff like that going on. And there's enough of them. Like I think this series will be 10 times, 100 times better served if it focuses way more on the real life like gaming aspect, pro gaming aspect.
Don't worry, Spire. Apparently, from what I've gathered, they're going at like 50 chapters per episode, so they're leading up to the big esports tournament where he fights against other teams.
Tournament arc already, not like this.
How do you go through 50 fucking chapters in a single episode?
Oh.
They probably like a chapter is probably
Montage, dude.
like a yonkoma, like one chapter
I'm
is like a
looking at chapter
yonkoma.
1. It only looks like to be a couple pages. So there you go. Like
Oh,
the first chapter
okay.
ends when he walks out of his company.
It's like I walked out of the door.
That's
He
first-
chapter one.
He gets up.
I woke
he
up.
opens his door.
Chapter.
Prologue.
Chapter end.
I had a dream.
The first
Wakes up,
this
makes
first
a
chapter is
scrambled egg.
literally he's playing his game. This chick comes in. They walk to
I
the
press
office.
R.
All
Or I
this
press
stuff
Q.
happens, and then they force him to retire. That's like the first 2 minutes of the episode. That's
I thought you were about to say the first chapter was he's playing a game. A chick walks in.
Yeah.
Chapter ends. Who are you? Chapter over.
Side story, chapter 2.5. I press R. or I press Q or whatever. It's like Jesus Christ. But it's we can all
Pretty
hope for it
cool.
to go in a productive direction. But yeah, if you are fans of sort of I guess more unique aspect, more I guess like an MMO like virtual gaming aspect, but it's more maybe a slightly bit more focus on pro gaming or competitive gaming or whatever. Check that out. Again, it's the King's Avatar is the name, and it is under the direction of production of Tencent. Okay. Yeah.
Tencent is also making a DFO anime, so they're gonna be busy with their Chinese.
They're already a DFO anime.
Yeah, but it was more like a comedy. This one's more serious. It's called.
Are you saying that DFO isn't a comedy?
No, the story's pretty serious.
It's pretty
Yeah,
funny to me.
just like PSO2. We
God.
all know how
Shout
that
outs
one.
to PSO2 for having a better episode 4 story than all of the animation, all of the anime.
Shake my head. All right. Well, anyways, with that, with the King's Avatar out of the way, I would like to move on to actually what Nier's been watching. But just before that, somebody in chat wanted me to talk about Recreators a bit. Recreators again.
Is it related to ReZero?
God,
Practically got the same.
if
name.
it was, I would actually have like a tumor like in my brain right now just by watching it. Anyways, Recreators created by Studio Troika, who did all the stuff for headed the stuff for Aldnoah Zero from 1 or 2 years back, and it's about a whole bunch of characters coming in from different worlds, and apparently those different worlds are being created by the manga artists and authors on Earth, and so they're calling the different world people are calling the Earth people, like the people that create them, like the creators, and then they come in and then they cause chaos and all that. it's supposed to be. I think it's essentially supposed to be this action fantasy harem kind of thing. And it's supposed to have enough, visual flair. The visuals are quite good. The audio is like whatever. It's relatively standard. Um, it's supposed to have enough visual flair to kind of distract you from the fact that it is just sort of like an action harem kind of thing. I honestly don't really appreciate it that much. The character interactions are relatively flat. Um, the the harem is like the harem, but it's like the development of the harem gets kind of crippled because of the random action scenes. The action scenes are thrown in here and there. The action scenes themselves aren't bad, but they're kind of just thrown in to have action scenes. Like, the magical girl, like the knight gets angry at the magical girl, and they're like, "Why are you getting so angry?" And then they just start duking each other in the face, like stuff like that.
It's like Street Fighter.
Yes, exactly like Street Fighter.
The series is about a high school student who becomes involved in a battle between several characters from manga, anime, and video games who somehow appear in the real world. So do they use actual actual anime manga, or do they make up their own stuff?
No.
Wow, that would have been better if they did.
That would be so cool. I would.
That would be cool, but that would also cost a lot of money in
Yeah,
licensing.
that would also cost a lot of money. That would not be a freaking joke to license. If that was an actual series, I would immediately give that an 8 out of 10.
just
but
like
at least.
just like
But-
Raid Bahamut, Shingeki no Bahamut. What's it called? the one with Nasu and the other ones making their own RPG characters. What's it called?
But anyway, the thing is, it's overall, it's not very good. I don't like what it's kind of doing. It's obviously like 120% fan service, but it's not really balancing any of it right. The plot is probably going to go nowhere. That's all I can say about it. If you want to watch it for like random spurts of action scenes, it's sort of like Izetta, except the parts between the battle slash action scenes, is just kind of like probably just gonna be the dude interacting with his grills, and then maybe talking to like the villain of the episode or something like that. So
it's like Izetta, but worse.
Depending on what you like, like if you're into the kind of cancer that is just like, oh, I'm hanging around with this like otherworld like harem kind of thing, then maybe Recreated is better. But if you're into the whole like, oh, we're gonna look into wars happening everywhere and like the suffering of wars and the suffering of wars and also random lesbian kissing, then maybe you like Izetta. So it's pick your poison.
That sounds pretty jarring.
I can watch both, but it's let me say that. Let me loosely phrase that. I can watch both.
All this genre clashing.
Yeah,
sounds like it would be jarring.
Yeah, whether it's actually that great or not is another question. But I'm sure it's gonna get some rave reviews for people who loved Aldno Zero, and they're like, wow, it's action, it's made by Studio Troika, look at these visuals, oh, action, oh god, what if anime was real and then it came and fucking punched my face and like all that bullshit. But it's not very good.
What
Anyways.
if anime was real? What anime genre would you bring to life to fight for you in some sort of battle tournament, which is what this sounds like?
Slice of life.
Tamako Market. Puts all your
Tamayura Hitotose.
Oh man.
It's like I think if aliens came to our world, it's like a worlds. They all the aliens that caught colds and died, right? Spoiler alert, by the way.
Wow.
all the aliens
the
caught
world
colds and died.
spoiler jerk.
Yeah, but if aliens really did come to the world, I'd honestly show them Tamayura, the anime, just so they all fall asleep and then we can kill them. Like, dear God.
What if they really like it?
What if they really like it? Then there's already no hope for the universe.
That's
like not even Earth. It's already no hope for the universe.
Maybe that's what Okada Marie's been writing for this whole time.
Just like a
Writing for aliens, not for humans.
Right.
She knows what's coming.
She can see the future. She has been to the future.
What if aliens came to destroy the world and the only way we could fight them off is with the power of recreators?
God. I'd actually just put a bullet in my mouth before using that, honestly.
So you're saying you would be a Persona user, Spire?
Yes, gun. Choose gun. Anyways,
My persona.
yeah, moving on with that from that kind of discussion about recreators. We sorry, we did King's Avatar. We need to move on to Sukasuka, right? So Nier, you have watched the light novel original, Sukasuka, or whatever it's called. Let me fucking, I guess I'll read it. 始末何してますか忙しいですか救ってもらっていいですか or whatever it's called.
大丈夫ですか?
But so it's tragedy. The human that's been frozen, the main character that's been frozen, was sort of like a hero-ish kind of thing. He gets frozen or petrified, wakes up 500 years later as the only one of his kind, a human. Finds these orphaned lollies in a warehouse. They're actual weapons, and they're weapons to fight off these huge gray beasts of destruction that live on the ground while everybody lives on floating islands in the sky. And so the story starts from there. And it is, the various genres are romance, tragedy, drama, post-apocalyptic, I would say, in a sense, right?
The
So
last living
supernatural.
humans, yes, that would count.
Yeah. Okay, so Nier, what did you think of it?
I'm just gonna preface this by saying, if I was the last living human in a world full of furries, I'd probably just kill myself.
In a world
But,
full of furry. But they're also fairies, Nier. You can fuck the fairies too. And they're
Yeah,
lollies.
I guess lollies would be like my last bastion of hope.
Yeah.
They don't have any value in life, so I don't know.
Shoot me, fam. Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good, I guess. It's all right. I mean, I'm only like, what is it, 2 episodes out right now?
Yeah.
So it's not too. I think it's 2, 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
either.
I don't like the I didn't like the main girl. Like, as soon as they introduced her, she just seemed very Mary Sue, I guess.
Yeah. The problem is, like, she's kind of there as a focal point in the plot, and it's very obvious that she is there as a focal point in the plot.
Like, as soon as she shows up, it's like, hey, this is the main girl. Please pay attention to her.
Yeah. Listen to me.
Yeah. I don't like the main girl. I like the cat girl. She's cute. Oh. Yeah, I mean like I like all the characters except for the main girl, really. But yeah, I'm mostly just watching this for the potential edge.
The edge to cut yourself on the edge.
Although I probably won't feel as good about it now that I know this is like lolly suffering. But I'll still stick with it.
Oh, the troll girl is really good. Sorry.
Yeah, troll girl is fun. She's alright. Like
Would you pay her troll toll to get into that boy's
Stop.
hole?
Well, apparently the troll toll is fucking death, so no.
Oh my god.
But yeah, all the girls are cute.
Also, don't worry, they're probably going to do a Vordojin of Shimas. Like, somebody's going to do a Vordojin of Sukasuka sometime.
Oh,
Like, I will
okay, yeah, I was really worried about that, Spire. Thanks for quelling
Wait,
Yeah.
my worries.
you mean Guro?
No, Vor. She
Vor.
wants to eat the main character.
Yeah.
What?
No, well,
She's a troll.
I mean, I guess.
it's okay.
Unless she
So
pays her
big?
toll, man.
So a little bit spoiler on the character development. The way the whole like, oh, I want to eat you thing is used more as like an icebreaker into like semi-romantic development.
Haha,
And
sexual
plus, like,
innuendo.
yeah, and less of a whole like, I actually want to eat you, like comedic / like weird gag, kind of like morbid gag kind of thing. It's less of morbid humor, more like, oh, haha, like, I want to eat you up or whatever bullshit. But you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Go on.
Sure.
Troll toll.
But I mean, I don't know how much there is to say about this outside of the initial summary, and I guess I don't know where I'm expecting this to go, because they did do a flash.
It's not that clear where it's going actually.
Yeah, they did do a flash forward in the first episode, to like, all the girls fighting something,
Mhm.
some mysterious thing.
Thingy.
And what I always assume is the main girl who in the flash forward for some reason has red hair instead of blue hair. I don't know if that's
Maybe it changed because
some magical bullshit.
people's hair color can change when they grow older. Some people have brown hair, but then they turn into blonde hair when they're older.
But then they turn bright green. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when they get into a new level of Super Saiyan, they do.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Got him.
But yeah, I kinda hope that this whole like, cause the main girl in the second episode, she's like, uh, you know, what would you do if I said I only had 5 days left to live or some shit?
Mhm.
And they go through this thing, and she's like, well, in 5 days, I'm gonna have to blow myself up to defeat this enemy, because
Yeah.
we predict enemy attacks and all this, and kind of hoping that isn't like the end point, I guess, for the story.
We're done. We're like
Because that's
GG.
if that's the case, it's kind of I don't want this to turn into a was it plastic memory situation where it's like
Everybody
hey,
kind of just died.
this girl has a time limit on her life. Now spend the rest of it
Wisely.
wisely. Haha, woo,
Yeah.
sad. I don't want this to be that because that's predictable and boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of really. I mean, that's kind of all there is to go on right now.
Yeah, it's actually relatively open-ended. What I will say is, I have not watched the anime, but I have read pretty much all of the light novels that have been translated, which is four volumes, and the fifth volume is the last one that's currently being translated, and I'm reading that one. Hopefully, I want to download it all when it gets translated. But um, it is more open-ended, and it's much less along the lines of what you would expect from like the premise slash like the initial character setup. Like usually you would expect something like, he gathers the girls and then with his determination he saves the world. That sort of thing going on, right?
Yeah.
Like it's very different from that. I don't know whether that will be the ending or not because I obviously haven't read the ending myself, or it hasn't been translated yet. But it goes here and there. It's very interesting at least. I'm not gonna sit here and be like this is like a masterpiece, but it's definitely much more unique. And I will say that with sincerity, it is much more unique than other series I've read recently, and that it mixes in the tragedy aspects pretty nicely, and it kind of goes down that path. I would like to hear your reactions on like later episodes. If you watch more of this show.
Yeah, I'll watch.
It's because this author kind of like does things like the prime example is that thing where it's like I'm going to die, I'm probably going to die 5 days from now or some bullshit, right? Or like what would you do? And that sort of like these questions and like these some like what happens now and these like plot catalysts, right? They lead into some like short term stuff, right? Like maybe increase in maybe it creates a flag or it puts up a flag, or maybe it leads into romantic development, or maybe it leads into some tragedy or whatever, right? But it's not exactly. I mean, not that it needs to be super clear, but it's like when they say something like that, it's like, what if I just did this? And I'm not entirely clear what the author wants to do with these plot catalysts. And I almost feel like half the time he's just kind of writing this to be like, oh, well, what if fuck you? And that's a little bit dangerous, but I think a decent amount of those gets resolved decently throughout the anime slash like plot story. So
What if I just died right here?
yeah, I know. It's like what if I die right now? I'm just like thinking like what is that even?
I don't know.
Like, what plot are you trying to do? Like right now, are you just saying that? Like, are you trying to create some random artificial tension? Like, what's going on? You just,
I guess be kind of upset.
yeah.
What
maybe,
if you died and your
maybe I
mom
take a selfie with
recreated
you right
you
now?
as
Yeah.
a clone? or whatever how that went.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
Please stop. Please stop.
But
Don't
yeah,
bring that up.
What if you lived in a town full of useless
Useless
powers, and you
powers.
just didn't die?
Yeah,
Because of
and
one
you
of them.
just want to help everybody with useless powers.
And
But
you
no,
succeeded, but
what
then
if-
you're like, oh, this power is useless.
Yeah.
Then what if someone dies and then you just are like, let's reset, and then they're not undead, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then 2 years pass and you don't question it.
Yeah, later.
I want to have like a Yu-Gi-Oh parody, or it's like with the first battle, right? It's like Yu-Gi pulls up the first card, and it's like create life, and Yu-Gi's just like, Grandpa,
Fucking
why would you
useless.
put this card in your
This card
deck?
is useless.
Why would you put this card in your deck?
Then he pulls out the laws of robotics, and he's like, my grandfather's deck has no useless cards.
God.
Oh boy.
Oh,
But
my
what
God.
about the zero flaw?
Oh God, please just kill me. Honestly,
It was
That's
added
serious.
later.
God.
They can't kill you if you can't die, and they can just recreate you later.
But
They
what if
can't
you're-
kill you if they're a robot.
Yeah, what if
That's
you're not
against
even
the
human?
rules of robotics.
But one of the rules doesn't apply to you, so you're a human.
God, I freaking
Seems good.
seems good. But yeah, it's very. I guess again, I would emphasize it is a unique series, and as people again on this podcast know, I do not give that compliment out
Would you say
very
it's
often.
the Madoka of this season?
Fuck you.
It's the ReZero of this generation.
Jesus. But yeah, it's pretty unique, I would say, and it's not the bad type of unique where they're just like doing supremacy and they're just like, well, fuck you, like we're just doing something stupid. Like it's not like that. It's actually like they like the person thought about it a little bit. Like at least a little bit. So do check this out. I know again, Nir is probably gonna continue watching it and we'll see the reactions later on.
I like my edge.
Yeah, out the edge. Okay, so on to the last review. We have Dark with his review of
I don't remember the title again.
the Akashic Records of the Bastard Magic
Bastard
Instructor.
Magic Guy.
Yeah,
there you go.
the Bastard Magic Dude, the man's, well, also known in Japanese, I guess, if you want the title for it. If you're a
El
weeb.
Diablo and Magic Man the anime.
Yeah, Rokutenashi Majutsu Koshi to Akashi Records, essentially is how you say it. The weird thing is in English, and it's not just on like one site, it's actually on like all these sites, is they put it as Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. Like they don't put the declarative, right? I'm just like, can we have like one, like, you know, QC person, like
Not
editor,
allowed to have-
anybody, like taking the
You're
title of
asking
the series?
Far too much.
Can
Like
we
as
have
soon
a
as the word "can we have" comes into play, you're already asking for far too much.
Yeah. Would you call it a comparable match to Dog Days? No, Dog Days is bad. Rokutenashi isn't bad.
But
Like,
Spy, it got like what 3-4 seasons. How can it be bad if it kept
oh
getting
my
more
god.
seasons? That means there was a demand for it.
Yeah, I mean, look at TQ.
That's true.
Yeah.
They got the Hobos to make like 8 different seasons of it. How could it be bad?
Cannot wait for season 9.
Yeah. Just giving, I guess, a short summary of Rokutenashi, if you don't mind, Dark. It is a
Why?
What
you didn't wait
series?
for me to answer. What if I didn't
No,
want
fuck
you to give
you.
it? Fuck
Yeah.
you. No one gets a thing.
No one gets a summary. But it's what studio is it made by actually? I know it's.
I have no idea.
Rokudenashi
I'll
or
be honest with you.
Rakudaikishi? Which one did you say?
No, we're not talking about.
Why the fuck would we bring up?
Rocket Daikishi, new hit show this season. Coming at you.
Light and Films. I forget what Light and Films did actually. Somebody please look. Dark, can you look that up on?
I've got it up right now.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Never
anyways,
mind.
it's a thing by Light and Films. And
Arslan Senki.
Sinky. That's pretty. Big.
Berserk 2016. Okay.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well then.
Terraformars.
Oh, I mean,
Oh boy.
This is-
Schwarzenmarken. Udon no Kuni.
It's a market.
Okay.
More Terraformars.
These are really weird.
Berserk 2017.
No,
Oh,
these are
boy.
really good. Go on. These are really good.
What
Secco
Why
Boys.
is like Udon just thrown
Secco
in?
boys. Oh boy.
Miss Monochrome.
Oh,
More
my God.
Terraformars.
But yeah,
And yeah, that's about it.
so Light and Films, the maker of these very, very famous and good series, what they actually I can't actually concentrate now. Anyways, um, it's a series about it's an action supernatural fantasy series set in a magic academy. It's probably going to be like a more battle focused academy, right? Because that's how these magic academy things always end up. But
I mean, I don't know about that.
I mean,
It
has there been
seems-
like academy, like a magical academy setting where
Berserk
like
7,
so far?
2017.
that was pretty. Yeah, it's
That's pretty
true.
good. That's pretty good. But has there been like a magic academy setting where people don't like duke each other in
What
the
if
face
this
on a
is
regular?
breaking the mold, Spire?
That is true. I apologize. You're right.
It's not like your other animes.
Yeah, maybe I should have just shut up and just watched the entire series from start to end, not saying anything. But anyways, it's magical academy setting. They're probably going to be duking each other in the faces. Actually, they are going to be duking each other in the faces because that's what happened in episode 1, and that's also what's going to happen in the light novel. It is a light novel adaptation. It's one of the more known light novel adaptations of the season in Japan, along with Suka Shimatsu. And it's about an instructor who's super lazy, comes to the magic academy, seems like he doesn't know anything, and then the heroine of the story, who is a student under him, gets really frustrated, challenges him to a duel, and then stuff happens afterwards. She gets really frustrated that he's not like really respecting magic. It turns out maybe he has some tricks up his sleeve, and the rest of us the standard action supernatural academy thing, character development with probably some like harem rom-com stuff going on, and the MC is probably secretly like pretty powerful, so on. But yeah, that's it for the short summary. What have you got to say about it, Dark?
It's like I kind of like it. I think it does some cool stuff. I think they need to get their shit together with their fucking tone.
Can
Like,
you give us an example?
okay, so I mean, the fact that they go from a scene where like the main heroine is like being sexually assaulted by a villain, and then they're immediately like, "Hey, what if we had comic relief like right now, though?"
What if we had comic relief right about now?
Like, haha, guys, isn't that funny? And I'm like, no. Like, this scene was getting like really intense and really like awkward because of that, and it's just like it throws in this ill-suited comic relief that just doesn't work. Like, it doesn't even work as like sort of like a dark anti-humor sort of comedy. Like, it just comes off as fucking really awkward for everyone involved, especially the viewer. But I mean, other than that, I think its comedy so far has been pretty cool. Its action has been okay. Like, it's not anything too crazy. It's not really. I don't really think it's much to write home about. But I do think that one of the things it does in the show with magic that I talked to you, Spire, about was pretty cool. The way it sets up how magic works and how magic is essentially like a language.
Yeah.
And it follows rules of language where if you I don't really know the technical term,
It focuses essentially. It focuses much more on the structure of. It focuses a little bit more on the world building and the structure of how things are going to be in that world, and like
Yeah.
it's actually going. They actually later, the author later applies that sort of rules that he set up in something instead of just being like,
Yeah.
oh, there's magic and it has these like complicated words, guys. Like
Yeah. It's like the fact that the sentence structure of your like magic incantations actually affects your spell. And like you can use the same exact incantation, but change the sentence structure to change the spell, I think is like a really neat idea.
yeah,
So I really like that sort of aspect of it. I like its action and stuff, but I don't really think its premise is really going to be much to write home about. And its audio visuals are just like kind of standard. Like nothing bad. Like, it's not bad, but it's also not like anything extravagant either. So I think it's good. Like I think it's definitely a show worth checking out because it is like its comedy is actually really good when it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like really bad when things get bad. Like any complaints that I have about it are like it's all right. Like it's still okay. It's not something that you should like completely ignore the show because of. But I think it is fun, and I think it could go some places that are pretty cool. What's really weird, I thought it was going to be like an action comedy, and
What do you mean?
like strongly comedic, where like you're not gonna have like you're gonna have action, but it's like we're gonna beat them up with magic. But like the main guy stabs people through the fucking chest. And,
Oh,
like,
you thought
like,
you thought the action was going to be more comedic.
yeah, I didn't think we were gonna have like people hard murdering each other, but we do. So there's that. That's pretty cool.
What do you mean by hard murdering? Is there a soft murdering option?
Yeah, they sneak
yeah,
up
like
behind
if you
him like
cut
a
away.
Pillsbury Doughboy, and then they just hug him. They just poke him. They're like, "Oop, "You're dead."
I mean,
And
like
then they cut him again.
in a lot of shows with action, you'd have like a character get stabbed, and maybe it's a silhouette with a blown out background, or like maybe it's cuts away at the last second. Like this, it's like nah, you're just gonna watch him stab through a guy with a sword, and that's about it, and blood's gonna go everywhere.
So you're
It's
saying like
hey,
you're saying like soft murdering is like they push the first millimeter of the blade into their chest, and then like
And then it cuts away.
every other day they put in another millimeter. So
yeah.
like slowly goes in.
It's like water
You
torture
know,
kind
they
of shit.
like they,
Water
they do
torture.
it, and then they're like, "Hey, does it hurt?" And then like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "All right, I'm not gonna move until you're ready for it." You know what I mean?
Next episode we'll do something. Something. But yeah, I'm glad to see that you're enjoying it. I do agree with you very, very much on the whole like, enjoying the talking about the world. It being a little bit more of like the academy-ish setting, where it's like, how it's like with Little Witch Academia, like they had those sorts of things, right? Like the little bits where it's like, it's like a schoolish kind of setting, and they did schoolish kind of things until the latter half, right?
Yeah.
I did also enjoy that, and I wish that, I mean, I wish, like, I know it's not going to happen. I actually haven't read too much of the light novel, but I know this sort of thing is always going to have like some sort of villain coming from the outside, or like somebody's going to be super greedy, and then from the kingdom or whatever it is, and they're going to be like, "Yo, we're going to do this, and we're going to overthrow the kingdom, or we're going to be evil, and we're going to be assassins that use magic for evil," and then they're going to get caught up in it, and the MC is probably going to wonder, should I still be enthused in magic? How can I teach these people about killing arts or some bullshit moral thing,
But
right?
he's a murderer.
Yeah,
Magic's only good for
great
killing.
morality. And then, but that's probably all going to be in the future, and there's going to be this overarching plot, right? All that bullshit. But I really hope that they don't get into it that much, because that sort of stuff. There's been a couple of other series that's done that. You would agree. We would agree, right?
Yeah.
And so I do also hope that it focuses much more on the academy, the rule making, the daily, goings on. Even if
Yeah.
it's
I don't know. I mean, I don't expect it to get too crazy with some stuff. I feel like it might actually focus on some of the goings on with some of the stuff it set up with that one character, and how there's like a character and there's something special about her. And how will that affect the class and the characters around her? So I think we might be dealing with something like that, and we'll get some decent stuff with that. So that'll be cool. But
okay.
overall, yeah, I don't expect it to become like too slice of life either. I expect it to be
Yeah,
pretty.
it's definitely not going to be a slice of life. It's going to have heavy rom-com elements in it, but it's not slice. So
Yeah.
there's going to be like some sort of weird like plot of that, definitely in the future. So, but if you do like that sort of stuff, it's I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and be like, oh, it's a super unique, like you haven't seen this sort of stuff before. It's harem, rom-com, action, fantasy, Magic Academy stuff, but it does have the whole, as Dark and I explained, the whole like magic explanation thing, and there can be some hopes for it. So watch out for it. Know what to expect. The standard operating procedures, right?
Yeah, don't got much else to look forward to this season, so you may as well check it out.
What about Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains? That's next month.
Shut up.
What about Aramanga Sensei?
I was about to say something about that in chat, and it's like, wow, it's pretty. Yeah, it was so good. And you like getting cucked?
I want to cry. Actually, Nier wants to cry more than we do, I think.
Like,
But,
yo, like,
Daisuke days.
what if
Dude, I've seen
Arrow
so much
Manga
art.
Sensei didn't cuck you at the end of it? How about that? That'd be pretty crazy.
I've seen so much like Izumi or
Seen so
whatever.
many anime.
Yes, seen so many anime, all 63 or whatever it was. But I've seen so much art of the main hero and like sister in this last week that I just want to barf, honestly.
Yeah, and
No,
it'll never actually happen in the show.
please people stop
So
spoiling that shit.
She's cute though, so it's okay.
Yeah.
yeah, she is, but you'll never get that in the show. It'll never be real.
Anyways, with that covered, we are moving on to news. And news this time around is actually not that big. There actually hasn't been that much, and the stuff that we are covering is actually, again, not that big of news in itself. But anyways, going on to the first part, there is Toei and Gust, Toei Animation and Gust are working together to create an augmented reality girls trinary app,
What does that even mean?
which
Sounds great.
it is apparently an anime cross-link role-playing game smartphone collaboration project.
So that's a lot of big buzzwords right there.
Yeah, it is a
Corporate
huge number of
buzzwords.
buzzwords. Yeah. So apparently, I mean, I've read through this thing and it's kind of all this bullshit. But essentially, what it's doing is, I think it's like initially a game, like a smartphone game, whatever the game is. I don't really care. But the anime is being streamed through the game. I don't know whether they have a video player in it or
Through
whatever,
PS,
client in it, or
like how they do it in PSO2? What?
maybe, I don't know, dude. I don't play that game, but
Wow, you should.
yeah, the app will be free to play, but certain items will be available for free. The planned anime will stream within the app weekly for free. Blah blah blah. That's going on. Let me. So the project will attempt a quote unquote unprecedented fusion of games and anime, and is the first such collaboration between Gus and Toei Animation. So honestly, I just think that they're trying to find a way to not go the PSO2 route to do like sponsor things, but like just trying to find a way to put in more like advertisements and like, you know what I mean, like promotion things into smartphone games without again going the whole like PSO2 route. Do you guys get what I mean?
Nope.
Like, cause this way, like,
yeah,
you can
you
just
lost me actually.
no, cause it's in this way you can just kind of like, you know,
Like
stream anime or stream whatever, right? Like, that's kind of what they're trying to do, right? Trying to stream promotion-based media, whether it's advertisements, whether it's like short OVAs, whether it's
oh,
the
so
anime
you're saying
or
like
whatever.
if you play the game, they're gonna have these 30-minute cutscenes where hey, you want to watch the new episode like they did with
Yeah,
like
or they don't
like
even
an
have to force you,
Idolmaster where
right?
they had an entire episode on the PSP.
Yeah, like they don't even have to force you, right? They can like promote it or whatever, and the eyeballs that do come across it will be enough to, you know, like act as the promotion. That sort of stuff I think is what they're going for, especially since smartphones and smartphone games are becoming so popular in Japan. So I think that's what they're probably trying to do. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
You still lost me.
Sounds like Quantum Leap.
What I mean, I just pulled this out because it's like they're trying to kind of, you know, throw everything into the pot at once, and
So it's like AdSense in a smartphone game.
yeah, it's like one of those TED Talks things where it's like they talk about, you know, how it's like when they're talking about like future technology, they're always going to be like they are going to have sensors and ads and stuff on everything, you know, stuff like that.
Oh
And this
yeah,
is
no,
part of the
I
whole,
just
like,
thought of I just thought of having like a TED Talk in the middle.
Anime Girl TED Talks?
yeah,
Oh,
anime
boy.
girl, anime manga sensei having a TED Talk.
Oh shit.
God, they should make an OVA like that. That would be funny. God, please no. So Damian says in chat, it's a streaming. No, it's it's a smartphone game, but it has like a streaming thing in it. Like it has the anime streaming within the game. Apparently, that's what it is.
Yeah, well,
So-
Dom Yang says a lot in chat.
Yeah. Well,
Does he though?
next
I mean,
piece
there
of
are
news.
words.
Next piece of news. Charges as of Monday, the Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office has dropped the charges of fraud against an executive and his son, who allegedly claimed to hold the anime production rights to the late pop singer Michael Jackson.
What? What?
From 2010 to 2011, the pair allegedly claimed to be the president of a Tokyo anime production company that they had. Allegedly claimed to the president of a Tokyo anime production company that they had the rights to adapt Michael Jackson into anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know about that one. I don't know
How
if
do you-
anyone owns those fucking rights.
How do you own that?
It's
Like, how
the
do you specifically own the rights to make Michael Jackson into
They
anime
resurrected
format?
him. They resurrected him from the dead, like fucking Thriller shit. And then while dancing, while in a dance off, they like stole the rights to the anime from him. Like I don't know, man. Like
I imagine you can. I don't think you can ever own the rights to just like do that in an anime, but like I imagine there's a thing where it's like, oh, I own the rights to use his likeness in X thing or something.
Yeah, but
So maybe they own.
specifically
Maybe they were
anime.
saying they own the rights to his likeness in an anime. I mean, dude, shit like that's kind of nuts. I mean,
literally turn him into an anime. Like it's like Picasso stuff, but like instead of Picasso stuff, he just becomes an anime girl. That's how it works, I think.
Seems good.
But yeah. Anyways, if you guys were expecting some sort of hype Michael Jackson anime, this is what it ended up being. So unfortunate, but
I'm still waiting for the
bashed.
Def Jam anime.
on the male like fake idol group front, which is always like pretty funny, right? Like even now we have this like, fucking male group of guys that love rice or whatever doing stuff. People are always coming up with very
Personified
funny
rice.
personified rice lovers. We gotta spread the love of rice in the school. But the Idolmaster Side M. Okay, the staff of the upcoming The Idolmaster Side M anime. Side M is the male version of the Idolmaster stuff.
Wow, I
Unveiled
wonder how.
unveiled a
Okay.
promotional video and key visual introducing the in-story idol group SEM during a Nico Nico livestream presentation on Thursday. And the interesting thing, the reason why I put this article up is that SEM consists of former high school chemistry teacher Jiro Yamashita, former high school English teacher Rui Maita, and former high school math teacher Michio Hazama.
Fucking Harvard teacher.
Production. So yes, this is an idol group entirely made of former high school teachers.
How old are they?
So if you, they're probably like less than 30. They're probably like 20 something each,
That's
right?
fine then.
Hey man,
That's like what?
have you
That's
seen
like
Demi-chan?
That's like Ritsu age. They're fine.
Have you
So
seen Demi-chan, dude? That teacher
So-
was in his prime.
Yeah, that is true. His muscles and abs and everything. Yeah, but if you are interested in chatting it up or worshiping fangirling after former high school Japanese teachers, go for it. And along the same lines, we have Konbini Kareshi, an anime that recently got greenlit for production. And it's an anime about high school boys who visit convenience store, and it will
Nice.
debut in July of 2017.
Are they gonna go to Lawson?
I just want to say
7-Eleven?
for this Idolmaster like side M thing,
Yeah.
this guys that are in like the pink spandex thing
Uh-huh.
on the right kind of looks like Gintoki.
What if it's voiced by the same guy too?
Please no, please no. But yeah, side M, and then also so for going back to Konbini Kareshi, over something about a convenience store. Each of the students goes there for different reasons: to eat ice cream after club activities at school, to get the latest issue of this week's game magazine, to purchase ingredients for cooking, to meet friends, or to stock up on their favorite bread or chocolate drink. The convenience store becomes a place they can meet, relax, and make small memories. Starting now, the reasons they will go to the convenience store will slowly begin to change. This is like Tokimeki Memorial, but with like all boys in the convenience store.
Whoa!
The site also stated that the upcoming anime will follow each of the students as they fall in love, following each of their daily lives, feelings, and their personal story up to the moment they confess their love.
like confess
This
their
is
love
so
to the
good.
konbini or like to the girl working there?
Are we gonna be?
Maybe both. Who knows? Maybe they confess to the clerk and the girl, then the boy they fell in love with at the same time.
I was
This-
gonna say it's a POV and we're the cashier, and they confess to us.
Tom's like, when does it turn to bento? I hope right afterwards.
Time for bento.
Oh my
God.
god! But yeah, if you are a fan of convenience stores and you want to see more boys fall in love in convenience stores with convenience stores and with boys in convenience stores, check out this series coming in July 2017.
Seems
Konbini
good.
Kareshi.
Personified convenience store.
Personified bentos. Convenience store
I
bentos.
love you, 7-Eleven, with your free drink, with your free big gulps.
Yeah.
And there will be an American 7-Eleven that's just a.
That's like all blonde and like super like muscular. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Fucking American 7-Eleven would be like a piece of shit and let himself go with a greasy comb over.
No. In Japan, if it was drawn
The
in like
Japanese,
like,
the Japanese can
it would be like full area.
7-Eleven would be hot.
Yeah, it would be full Aryan, yeah, so to say.
You have to separate
Um,
the two. They're too different.
Yeah, that is true. Anyways, moving on. This is another pretty interesting news. More Attack on Titan hype. There was like an Attack on Titan like escape the room thing, right?
Yeah.
Recently.
Was it like?
And there was-
Does
I think it
anyone
went to
know
this-
more about it?
I think it went Western as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it was in like Los Angeles and like other places.
Did anyone hear
But
about
now-
it? Was it good?
I
They get
don't know.
eaten by a
Like
Titan?
we got like a couple of news.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine. I can't imagine being much better than any other escape the room shit.
Yeah.
The Resident Evil one is probably the best one. If you think
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, they have like a lot of thematic stuff to go off on, but anyways, a planetarium show for the Attack on Titan franchise titled Shingeki no Kyojin in the Dome, Heishitachi no Hojizora, or also known in English as Attack on Titan in the Dome, the Soldier Starlit Sky, has been greenlit. The show will run at the Korika Minolta Planetarium Tenku in Oshiage, Tokyo from May 20th to October 1st. So let's see. In addition, visitors on weekdays will be able to participate in a riddle game. Participants can use their cell phones to chat and text messages with Aaron, Leffy, and Armin to solve the riddle.
Oh shit!
What?
They're in a
will they be?
planetarium.
Is it gonna be like the flares, and they're gonna reveal where the Titan? You can message them where the Titans are, and then they'll appear. Whoa!
Quick, Aaron, text 3352 to be the Titan. Dear God,
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
that'd be pretty funny. Yeah. But if you're interested, if you're visiting Japan like this summer or something like that, and if you're into Attack on Titan, this is probably not like a chance to miss out, right? Like planetarium show, games, whatever. So, and it's in the middle of Tokyo too. So,
If you go, please text one of them, send nudes.
you
And
said,
please
dude.
screenshot that and take pictures to prove that you went there and did that.
Yeah,
You're gonna get Armin's though.
yeah.
You're gonna get a Titans.
Oh,
You're just gonna get like Titan's face. Yeah. Oh Jesus. And the last piece of non-person news we have is something I didn't really want to talk about, but we have to do it because it's pretty big. Ryogo Narita is creating one of his last novels based upon the Bleach series, and it is a new Bleach novel. And the novel is titled Bleach: Can't Fear Your Own World, and it will launch on both the Shonen Jump Plus app digitally and on the official Bleach app on April 28th. Sorry. Blah, blah. The new novel centers on Shuhei Kisagi. Shuhei must throw himself into a new fight as the mystery that Kaname Tosen left behind resurfaces. Blah blah blah. The story will reveal more details about the four noble families: the Soul King, Aranka, and the Full But yeah,
Fullbring's
Naruto
terrible. Why would they bring that back up?
Naruto previously wrote the 2-volume Bleach Spirits Are Forever With You novel series, which Shueisha published in 2012. Blah, blah. And so, oh yeah, and Weekly Shonen Jump lists that Matsubara and Naruto's novels are part of the quote-unquote last novelization project for Bleach.
Last.
So if you're
That's what
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So if you're into Bleach and you're watching, and if you're seeing it off as last novelization project, quote-unquote, this is coming up. Again, it's going to be starting from April 28th. which is approximately a week from this recording. So check that out if you're a Bleach fan.
Don't worry, guys. This is the last one. Hey.
Wink,
I mean,
Wink,
we're
wink.
probably gonna turn it into an anime, just like Boruto. What's the guy's name again?
What?
What's the guy's name for the
Shu-
novel? Shuhei? No.
Shuhei Hisaki.
Yeah, that's the guy
Oh,
with
the character, yeah.
the scars on his face and looks like Ichigo. Isn't he popular? I know people like him.
I don't.
I don't know, dude.
I don't. I do not give a single fucking shit about anything Bleach
I was
has
gonna say, does
spawned
Bleach
in the
even
past
count as
decade.
fucking like popular anymore? Can it
But
even count as
Nier,
popular?
they revealed that he has a Bankai, but it's never been shown.
Oh my
It's never
god!
been shown in the anime or manga,
Please
so they have.
stop.
That's what this novel is for. They have to show it.
They don't have to do
They
anything.
really needed to make a whole new novel for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyways, wrapping that up, there's one more piece of news that it is a person news. He is not as well known, but it's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. The 38-year-old acrobat Kazutaka Yoshino passed away on Monday due to an accident. He was on the main staff for the upcoming stage play adaptation of Hajime Isayama's Attack on Titan manga and credited as an acrobat for the summer production. Um, so So he was inspecting the equipment for wire action sequences in the theater which he was going to perform, and accidentally fell to his death. He suffered a cardiopulmonary arrest and then was pronounced dead when he arrived in the hospital. So he was actually apparently also a former member of entertainment company Cirque du Soleil, which is actually pretty cool. But please wish his family and friends condolences. It's very unfortunate that he died during work. So, but yeah, with that aside, we are going to move on to shoutouts, callouts, and again, shoutouts is one thing from each person that you want to praise, give a cheer, whatever, clap for, and it can be anything. It can be an item, a trend, a person, a series, whatever. And call out is the exact opposite, something that you want to insult, flame, whatever, talk down to, etc., etc., etc. My shout out is to Kimi no Nawa, or also known as Your Name in English. It is the latest Makoto Shinkai work slash movie. Talks about the major themes are just like time, the threads of time, threads of fate, romance, everlasting love through, fate and love and time and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I did think it was pretty solid. I kind of, everybody kind of by now knows the Shinkai statements on it, where he's just like, I'm not very satisfied with that. I think people should not go watch it, all that bullshit, right? I do think it was a relatively solid package for what it delivered within the specific time frame that it did. I can understand. I'm not going to obviously spoil anything. If somebody wants to, tweet, ask them about whatever, DM, whatever, they can do so. But I do understand that there are probably certain specific points in the movie where Makoto Shinkai may have been satisfied, like this isn't kind of it, and there are some things that are kind of rushed or maybe left a little bit out. But overall, it was a very, very, very solid package. So I would recommend people go watch it, and that I'm giving it my shout out. It was a pretty good movie.
This just in: Spire hates Kimi no Nawa.
Yeah, that's why I'm shouting it out. Actually, I'm actually forcing people to watch it, unlike what Shinkai's suggesting.
Did you watch it in theaters? I'm going to watch it
Yes,
in
I did.
theaters.
Yeah,
Who'd you watch it
like
with?
all the DVD.
Ritsu?
Yeah, I did watch it with Ritsu.
Wow, really?
Dubbed, right?
Stop. Yeah. Please fucking kill me. So
I had to search long and hard for one that was gonna do it sub, and it's like, am I going to?
all of my theater stuff had a sub. I don't know
Wow,
where.
I had to. I'm going to go to like 3-hour drive to find mine.
Yeah.
My theater only had like one showing, and that was a week ago. And I didn't want to risk going to like, the one showing and having that obnoxious person in the theater.
Which
Yeah.
obnoxious person? Spire?
Yeah.
Oh wait, what? Sorry.
Yeah.
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 Fuck you, Spire.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was the only thing. Sorry, could you repeat that?
I didn't want to risk going to the theater because there was only like one showing, and I didn't want to have like that one obnoxious person in the theater that's like fucking shouting and screaming at the movie. It's like, fuck off.
Hey,
Yeah.
what anime
the
do
people-
you
the people-
watch? How did you hear of
Yeah.
this? Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like Berserk 2016?
Did you like?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
I would have been kicked out of the theater for fucking assault or something.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Makoto
Um,
Shinkai says, "Don't come to the theater tomorrow. Some of them might seem cool."
it was actually pretty funny because it's like I did get a decent number of voice actors in it, right? I mean, a lot of them are pretty famous, but it was
Wow,
pretty
what a
funny
weird-
because it's like I got Yuki Aoi was one, right? I got Terashima, whatever his name is, the one who did Jubei in like Blaze Blue. I got that one right. I think, and I got there was like a really like one line, like there was like a teacher that says like one or two lines in the movie, and I tapped Risa. I'm just like, that's fucking Kanohanazawa, isn't it?
How would you know? What if it's Ayane Takatatsu?
Shut the fuck up.
Yo.
and so at the end of the
Kanohanazawa was in
credits-
that movie? Shit.
She
Should
says
have
like
gone.
3 lines. Yeah, she should have just gone to the theater to risk it all. But I was looking at the credits and it's like whatever teacher Kanohanazawa. I'm just like, dear God, please stop, please stop. But anyways, that's my shout out. From that tangent, my call out is, as you guys know, I've been in a pretty deep, web novel, light novel reading funk lately, and
You should read The King's
There's-
Avatar.
maybe later. But there's been this trend of like web novels recently. Obviously, a lot of them are smaller, more niche stuff like that, but they have been popping up in more places more times on Shosetsu and being translated that I'm comfortable with. And these things are like the premise is like I went to a parallel world and I gained this power where I can power up girls using my semen or something like that, or like by having sex with them.
That's called Monotransfer Spire. It's very
That's
prevalent in the
called
Fate
a
series.
real life Spire.
Yeah.
That's totally me.
Totally.
It's me IRL.
Have you ever walked around the corner with like toast and semen in your mouth and then just bumped into a girl and levels her up?
Not
Like,
mine. Not
there's-
mine. He's talking about actual piece of toast.
Yeah, actually,
Omit
I
the
put
toast.
semen on toast,
And
yeah.
yes.
yes. But that sort of like genre, like I love girls with semen or whatever. It's been popping up more than once, let's just say, and once is already enough. Like once is already too much for me, but like it's popping up like way more times, and that thing honestly like it legit makes me uncomfortable. And not a lot of things in anime, manga, visual novels these days make me uncomfortable, but like it's like kind of weird. So call outs to that. Stop doing that shit, Japan. That's not a creative. First of all, it's not even creative because there are like other people doing it already. Like definitely. And second of all, like where do you even go now? Where do you even go now?
Having more semen.
That's true. Semen flowing endlessly. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, that's my shoutouts and callouts. Dark. You're next.
Shout out to PSO2 for having a pretty fun boss and pretty cool new weapon. Because this new boss for episode 4 is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. It's actually really fun. I mean, then again, like a lot of episode 4 has been actually really enjoyable. Near, you should start playing.
No.
It's fine. No one's here to yell at you about your weapons anymore. In fact, they're
only-
easier to get than ever.
It's only 80 gigabytes.
It's only like 53 now. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, thank you.
Okay, whenever you're always like complaining about space for like a game or anything, just think to yourself, at least it's not the Toho lossless music collection.
Yeah. I'll stick to fucking like Dojin Toho arranges. Thank you very much.
Are you saying that you don't want to download 1.77 terabytes of Toho goodness?
I don't even have that much space on my computer, so no.
Yeah. All right, and your call out.
You know what my call out's gonna be to everyone fucking here right now.
What?
Cause I'm calling out Toast for saying that fucking Boku no Hero Academia gets faster in season 2 because it's even slower than season 1 right now. I'm calling out Nier for never being in voice anymore.
Sorry, I
He's a
don't like
jerk.
you anymore.
Wow, thanks, man. And I'm calling out you, Spire, for not liking Momonosuke's work.
No, okay. We've been over this.
No.
We've been over
Yeah,
this.
we've
No.
been
Okay.
over.
Yeah, we've been over it.
We've been over Spire's fucking shitty, terrible taste a dozen and a bajillion times already. Okay.
I'm already okay. Look, I'm already fucking like falling asleep before
I
you guys
already-
even mention Glasses Girl.
I already hate you.
It's so much. Oh Jesus. But yeah, we've already been over this. So if you guys want to talk about dozens, we can talk about this later. And obviously, any readers or whoever out there, tweet us some nudes. I mean hentai. But yeah, okay. Nier.
Spire
Shout out
has
to Collins, please.
terrible taste.
Resident Sleeper.
Shoutouts to Persona 5.
Yeah, that reminds me. I was gonna say like when Dark was doing the call out with like Nier not being in voice, I was thinking of that fucking like friendship ended meme. It's like friendship ended with Nier, or friendship ended with like it's Nier. It's like friendship ended with Dark. Now Persona 5 is my best friend.
Yeah, I like Persona 5 a lot. I've really fucked up my sleep schedule playing it quite a few times in the past couple weeks. I think I'm in the final stretch of the game. At least feels like it. I finally met Forehead Chan. I don't really like her.
You're not even close, really. It's over
Really?
100 hours.
I was gonna.
Just
I
about
don't know
the
about
story.
that. I've seen people beat it on their first try in like 81.
Yeah,
because
but they crashed it.
I was told Forehead Girl's social link gets introduced like 80% in the game. So I don't know. But I was remarkably surprised to find out that Makoto was going to be my least favorite party member.
Really?
She's incredibly boring. She's
People said after like the 4th palace or something that was like their favorite character.
no, I don't like her. She's very boring. She's I mean, I thought she was gonna be tomboy. She's not at all. She's fucking goody two shoes, class president, good grade,
Wow.
and that's
Way
not what I wanted from Makoto. Yeah, she's not my she's like
Probably
my
not
least
gonna be
favorite
my
party
fucking
member.
favorite character now either. Fuck.
But yeah, as I said before, best girl so far is Hifumi Togo, the shogi player. Following that, I like Anne a lot, and the dirty
You
hickey
saying-
neat is pretty low on the list
You
though.
saying you like white girls near?
Yes,
I'm probably gonna go with the
blonde
the
hair,
doctor
blue
then.
eyes, fucking top tier.
The doctor seems pretty good.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
They're all pretty good.
Her social link's very tedious to level up though, because you need like almost max charm, and then you need to do a quest for it. It's fuck, man. I just want drugs, dude. But yeah, Persona 5 is pretty good.
Call out.
Callouts to shit. I don't know. Persona 5 is just so good, dude.
It's blotted out all your call outs.
Yeah. Callouts to I don't know, this season. It's fucking shit, to be honest. Like,
No, Berserk's in this season. How can you say that? Are you not a Berserk fan?
I guess not.
You just hate Berserk.
What about that transgender anime? What is
That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
news,
or
though, man.
Crunchyroll calling that out?
don't I want my anime
It's
to
important.
be trans fat free. That's what I meant. Um,
Oh yeah.
no, I don't really have much of a call out. I
Okay,
guess.
that's fine.
Uh,
Alright.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, then. Last but definitely not least, Toast. Shoutouts and callouts, please.
My shout out is to United States Senator Gaylord Nelson,
Why is that?
because today's Earth Day, and he created Earth Day. So happy Earth Day to all of you.
He created the Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
True.
he created the
and
Earth
on the
on
same
April
day.
22nd, 1970.
Yeah. When you said
How come the Earth is 2017 years old?
Hey,
yeah.
Toast, I have a question for you. Are you reading the fucking info on the art on Google right now?
Am I?
Maybe.
Why? What does it say?
I don't know. Is that what it says, and that's where you're getting this from?
No,
Maybe.
I'm on Wikipedia.
Oh my
I
god!
googled
So
United
close.
States Senator Gaylord Nelson.
Click. I'm feeling lucky.
When
Oh,
actually when
should I
you
do
said
that? Let me do that.
United, I thought you were gonna shout out United Airlines for a second. I was just like,
Shout
Oh,
out to
yeah.
United Airlines.
for creating the best fighting crew in existence. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
the fucking
Jesus.
unblockable setup.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. What a fucking
It's
shame.
next character in Street Fighter 5.
Somebody actually tweeted out because it's like right after the United Airlines like the initial scandal, like there was a whole bunch of other like follow scandals, right? Like United like Airlines like fucking kicked my baby, or like there were like a whole bunch of other things, right? And somebody tweeted out, like I forget who it was. It's like I think like at this point people are just planning stuff on like like United Airlines just like pin stuff on them. Like I'm pretty sure like one of these days we're just gonna find like OJ Simpson's bloody glove somewhere on United Airlines flight.
Well, I mean,
Like
people are
Jesus
trying to get
Christ.
like free
Yeah,
flights out of fucking scandals. But yeah,
yeah,
people are always like, yeah, United Airlines fucking kicked my dog or something.
yeah.
Whatever.
It's yeah, but yeah, it's very unfortunate, isn't it?
Don't
Anyways,
use United Airlines. Fucking whatever the cause.
uh, Toast.
Yeah.
Call.
My call out is the Soul Buster. I think that's what it's called, right?
Is that the other Chinese?
Yeah, the other Chinese one that was really slow and turned really bad, even though I liked the main girl's hat. Boo.
No.
Boo.
Wait, what?
I don't she had a cool hat, but it was pretty slow and boring.
Yeah, I mean that sort of series is not bound to be
How would
super
you know,
well
Spire?
developed facing whatever.
Have you haven't read
I have a
Tales of
slight feeling.
Demons and Gods? You don't know how, or Battle Through the Heavens, or I Will Seal the Heavens, or
No,
Soul Land 2, Soul Land 3, Return of the Dragon King. What
you're
do you
right.
know?
I haven't read all 230 chapters of those. I apologize. Or
Yeah.
however many hundreds of chapters there are in those.
People told me it was gonna be Chinese Fate, and I was like, it turned out to be Chinese Fate. Pretty bootleg.
All right. Well,
Or
with
happy
that,
cool.
all right. Well, with that call out, we are arriving at the end of our podcast. Again, this is episode 66. Thank you all to the viewers out there and during the live stream, and to all the listeners out there who listen to us. Again, we're going to cover more series next time, so don't worry if we didn't cover everything this episode or the episode before. It's a bit hard to cover. Every season is at least like 45 plus series, so and we do watch a significant amount. Anyways, again, we do. If you like what we do, we record our podcast every other Saturday at 10 p.m. starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. And we talk about the latest and greatest in anime, manga, visual novels, web novels, light novels, Japanese media stuff. We at Twitch, you just give us a follow at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's the number 4, as well as on the social media, Twitter and Facebook. Facebook 4PlayerAnimecast, Twitter handle at 4PPAnimecast, also with the number 4. Our VODs are available on the website at 4 or at 4 www.4. I guess you don't need to add www, but at 4PlayerAnimecast.moe, on our website where we put all of our VODs, our MP3s, YouTube versions of these, as well as our other content. We sometimes do visual novel casts on our Hitbox channel, 4PlayerAnimecast. We have interviews from community contributors and people very heavily related to anime manga stuff, working inside the industry. And so we do all have this content. Visit our website. Again, as we said last episode, we do also have our stuff available now on iTunes, or our MP3s available on iTunes and on Google Play Music, Play Google Music, as as updated recent podcasts. So you can download it through whatever app you have. You can listen to it on the go. So please check that out. We'll be uploading this podcast and all the later podcasts as soon as possible. Watch out for that. And yeah, again, until next time.
Happy Earth Day.
Welcome to Earth.